All right. Hello, all you interested people. So this is I'll take this off here. A Rhodes Pioneer, and it's got some issues to it. The issues are those keys don't work. Mostly everything does. So there's 4 keys. Those keys right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything else works. Those 4 don't. So I've been futzing around with it for a bit and kind of working with different solutions. Now, at your first glance, let me just turn it off here so that we're not. Okay, there we go. So this is one of those cool keyboards that flips up like a hood of a car. Is great to work on. Most of them don't do this, but keyboard manufacturers, if you're watching this, like, up with the hood, good design. Anything else, it's total crap. But hey, I don't design them. I just fix them when they're broken, or attempt to anyway. So these are kind of tricky. Now this particular one, and they all come apart differently. Different brands use different mechanisms. This one here is made by Roland, and this one, this is the only one like this that I've seen where the keys come out the way they do. So we'll start with that, and then the other thing is that this keyboard is extremely heavy. I have to plug it first over here. So, in order to get these keys off, these little buttons here, you push these buttons and you can slide the keys and they'll pop right out. It's inventive. Like, for real though, this thing's gotta weigh like at least 60 or 70 pounds. That's crazy. Let's see, get a little poker. Using the tip of a pen or anything like that. Basically just stick it and poke that button. And the white keys you push forward, they pop out. The black keys you push backwards. And now the white keys are shaped. These things, the white keys, like, see, it's got the A on it, so you know that's the E key. And this is the 1, 2. So it's. I gotta remember that the traces that we're looking at: 1, 2, 3, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and 6. Remember that. Those are the broken ones. So it's 1, 2. Push the button. Oh, push these forward. Push the button. Push it forward. Pops off. Some of them. Now here's another thing: is that they have this little spring mechanism up behind it. And if you sometimes that little thing, a couple of these are broken. Somebody had taken this apart before, and this thing will pop out and the spring will come shooting out at you. So you just got to be careful about when you're taking them out. Like this one, that's an example one. See, there's no little stopper piece there to hold the clip. There's a couple little nubs in there that will hold the clip shut, but it won't stay there. So that flies open and then the spring comes off. And if that happens, it's easy to fix. You just lay the spring in there in this, there's a little nub there on the key side of it, and then the clip side, you just kind of bend it over. And then when you're putting it back in, just make sure that's done. We'll show you that when it happens. Oops. Keep on going here. And so I'm going to take off enough keys to expose the full length of, see that rubber contact strip there? And I've tested this already, actually. And a lot of the times, this rubber strip is what's wrong. So on, I'd say most. Let's do another take on that. Quick. So, on most of these keyboards, when you get dead notes, a lot of the times the problem is that it's this rubber contact strip, because on the bottom of this thing, if you pull it up, you see it's kind of like the fob of your car. Let me zoom in on that. Like your car keys.
I mean it.
So usually the problem happens with these little contact points, and the rubber strip that covers this. These things will get these little dots here. Those will get worn out because they're impregnated with a metallic material, as are these pads down on the PC board. And usually what you do is just put on a new contact strip, just take it apart, put another one of those on, put it back together, and then that usually fixes the problem. On this, I've tried swapping. I took the 2 octaves off, so took this contact strip up here, and then replaced it with this, and just put it all back together, and it worked just fine. So I know that the contact strip is not the problem, it's the pads underneath. Let's see it going here. So if we measure the conductivity of the pads themselves, so like this one here on 1, so that's giving us a little bit. It's also giving us a little bit. That one is giving us nothing. And this one is giving us a little bit. So it's kind of, you could probably identify that one as being the culprit. On this side, maybe just the high readings. I mean, that's 170 ohms going from one side of it, the spot to the other. So those 3 look like this one's got 84 ohms. That one's not too bad. I'm just measuring one side of the spot to the other side of the spot. Now that one looks like it's probably working okay, because it's starting, when it beeps, that means it's giving continuity. But the rest of them are not. We're on the 4th pad now, which was working, if you remember. That's one contact, that's another contact, that's the 3rd contact, and the 4th contact. They're all showing continuity. So the first 3 are not. So that's the problem, not the contact strip. My theory is that underneath this metal, there's probably a copper pad. So I'm going to try to scrape this stuff off, which I haven't tried doing that. I tried a couple other things, like you can see in this one. I tried putting some metallic material, some metallic paint that was not metallic enough. My theory is this. Ha! There is. There is. My theory was correct. So yeah, this is just metallic, like a metallic painted material. So I'm on the right track with it. Just got to be a little bit smarter about how I'm going to fix it. So as you can see, once you start cleaning them off, see if we can zoom this in a little bit better. You can see, as I scraped a little bit of the plastic off of there, these 4 pads here. Now these are actually connected to the traces, so if you can scrape that off, that from here all the way down till it connects over here, that's all one piece of copper. And if we turn on the continuity here, you'll hear it beep when you put 2 together. That anyway, if you put them together like that, theoretically you should hear it beep. And yet it's not. Where's the next trace? Oh, this one. And sometimes they'll connect. So this one goes to this lug here. So that's making continuity. This one goes to, looks like this one here, right? So that gives you continuity. This one is connected to this one here, which gives you continuity. But look, here's the problem. That dot connects right about there. If you do it here, there is no continuity. Not until you get up here. So that dot needs to hit someplace that has continuity with, you know, it would be this one here. So those 2 sections need to connect. So what I think we should do here is maybe, if I got some copper foil, cut out little strips of it to kind of emulate those strips that were there, and then just wire those to either the traces here, or even just run a jumper like all the way to wherever these things need to go. But I think if we just put a dot of solder there and then like securely glue them down to the PC board, that will work. That's my theory. That's what we're gonna try. No, I wasn't videoing that, no. The less yelling and screaming and swearing I can do, the better. Okay, so here we are. So I got all these traces. These are the ones that I'm going to, I was gonna say amputate. I think I've already done the amputation. It would be the prosthesis of it, but like this one. But you can see how the continuity, and then these all connect up here. So 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, what's up with that one? Uh-oh. You see, this is the type of shit that you gotta. And those are all supposedly connected. 1 and 2 is connected. 1 and 2 connected. Nothing on 3. Nothing on 3. How about 3 and 4? No. How about 4 and 5? Those are connected. Okay, so we're gonna have to run a jumper from here to here. And draw these things on with a Sharpie. This is interesting. So jumper between those 2 traces, and then, well, it might just be broken right there. So what I'll do is, just jumper right here and here, and let's see if, and let's see if that helps the continuity to this one as well. Yeah, that's not good. Those are supposed to be touching. This is why we do these things. And then 6, so 6 to 6 connecting, 6 connects. Okay, so 6 should be connecting with 1, 2, and 3 down here too. So that does not, and that needs to be fixed. Like this one, I think is that one there. Yep. This one is that one there. good. We checked those two already. Let's see here. That one's that one. This one's that one. This one is that one. That one is that one. This one is that one. And this one is that one there. So that one's okay. All right. So, yeah. So that jumper there, and then we got to put the contact pads on there, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay. So here's what I'm doing. I'm priming. Wait, now that was one in question too. So I'm priming our pads with solder. Let's just do that one just for a test. See how we're doing. But as I remember that this one, I think this one was not connected to the rest of them, right? Oh wait, no it is. Okay, good. Forget it then. Was it this one that wasn't connected? No, that one's connected. That one is connected. That one is connected. It's just that one. Okay. So let's do that jumper then. So I'm just going to scrape off a little bit in the middle there. So exposing the copper right there. Make a little T right there so that we can test that and see where the break is, because the break might be on that little line here connecting here to there, right? That might not be enough. The thing that sucks most of all about this stuff is that they don't make parts for this anymore. It's like you could just like buy a new piece of circuit board, this piece right here that goes all the way, probably goes like halfway up, so you got like 2 halves to it. But you can't. You have to fix what's here, otherwise you throw it away. So I'm trying to expose this strip, and it might just be rotted out because it's kind of brown. It's not even, looks almost like it's been corroded away. Yeah, maybe that's it. So anyway, we do know that these all need to connect somehow, right? So what I'm going to do then is, I don't want to cut into this one here, but I will expose some of the copper. See how that copper is nice and shiny? I think that's what it is. I think it corroded up. It just rotted away. Piece of rot. Jeez, look at that. So that one's fine. So that's what we'll solder to that. This is like freaking heart surgery happening here. It's not soldered directly to that. We're gonna give it a little bit of room. Yeah, look at that. So the copper's nice and shiny down here, but as soon as it gets to that point there, it just turns to brown. And then you can scrape that all away, and it's just circuit board underneath. It's completely rotted up. Huh. Go figure. All right, so we will prime this section up here and just kind of drag that up yonder. And then we'll put the wire there, and we'll put the wire up here. Right there. That should be fine. And we will establish our continuity. All right. Okay, well, let's see here. just fine. It's tiny little connections, and still they're pretty solid. I say leave it be, and move on to the pads. Now here we go. Okie dokie. So now we've got things happening now. I gotta carefully connect the contacts with the new pads. Okay, so as you can see here, I've built up my pads with I built it up with solder so that the tops of them are all even. One of the problems I was running into without these little like kind of raised pads, it's just ever so slightly, it's just a layer of solder on each one, is that they were a little bit uneven. So when you push the keys down, and it wouldn't always fire up. Most of the time it would, and then every now and then, like you'd push the key and nothing would happen. So I've built this up. I tested it, and it's much more consistent now. It works every time now. So we're good. All right. So here we go. 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 All right. So here is the circuit board fully repaired. It's ugly, but like I said, you can't get these parts anywhere. Like there's actually just looked online. I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna see if I can find one, and because there's a couple of companies that sell old, reused parts and stuff. They'll take one of these things, chop it all up, and sell the parts off for like a lot of money. But like, when you need them. So it was this one that was giving me a lot of trouble. Once I got all these things hooked up here, and so there's a continuity, and so that those all connect there, and then this one connects down here, and this one connects there. This one is here, and that one is here. Those two are connecting, those two are connecting. This one connects here, that one connects there, right? All perfectly continuity. Does that make any sense? Doesn't make any sense. Perfect continuity. All right, so that one connects there, this one connects there, this one connects here, and this one connects here. Now, these pins go to diodes. These are diodes crossing this. Now, what I found, so these started working, put the pads on, boom, functioning. The D was not functioning. So I was, like, why isn't it working? And I had all the keys on up to this point, right? This was all covered up. And I'm like, well, it's continuity. Let's see, it goes to this trace, right? But there's nothing plugged into this. That's just stops right there. And I said, well, it's like, and so I said, wait a second, where's that trace going? So I followed, and it's got a jumper now connecting the 2 points that it's supposed to have. But there's this one little spot right here, which I think is some more of that corrosion, the same stuff that was happening up here. It's happening down here, and what's probably going to end up happening later on is, hopefully it won't, but that's for another day. And these are all connecting. But number 3 was not connecting. This was connecting here, wasn't connecting here. This one was connecting here, but not connecting there. So obviously between these 2 points, so I put a jumper there. Now that one works. Woohoo! Is fixed. Now I'm going to put it all back together, and should have a working keyboard. And here she is, all reassembled. Ta-da! That's how I end my videos.